mighty week. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
That sounds better. Welcome to our October 13th meeting. The public can view this entire meeting at YouTube.com, Edgecombe County Public Schools. So just know when you stand up and talk, you want to speak very clearly because we want the public to hear. All right, we will now declare and call this meeting to come to order, and we would ask everyone to stand as we recite our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. I hope everyone has had an opportunity to pick up an agenda. We will try to follow it to the best of our ability. It's a long agenda. Okay. We're at item number 2, approval of our agenda. Does anybody have anything to add?
Madam Chair, I'd like to add an action item 8.5B. Approval of payment for invoices in the amount of $217,000 for Bonds Architecture for the design of the North Edgecombe School renovation.
Okay. Could we hear a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of the agenda as amended.
Second.
Has been moved and properly seconded that we will approve our agenda as amended. Any other discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. The motion carries. Thank you very kindly. Item 3, recognitions. Ms. Hope.
Good evening, Madam Board Chair.
Good evening.
Mr. Vice Chair, other members of the board, Dr. Bryan. I'm pleased to introduce our Employee of the Month for October. Stephanie Griffin is an accounting specialist in our finance department. According to Finance Director Dina Howe, Ms. Griffin has been an invaluable member of the ECPS Finance Department, known for her unwavering can-do, will-do attitude, and her collaborative spirit that keeps everything running smoothly. Her deep knowledge and steady leadership have truly made her the glue that holds together both the Central Office Finance team and our ECPS bookkeepers. Stephanie approaches every task with humility, grace, and a genuine commitment to excellence, qualities that have made her an irreplaceable member of our ECPS family. This recognition is especially meaningful as Stephanie prepares to retire at the end of this month, after many years of dedicated service to our schools, staff, and students. Thank you, Stephanie, for your extraordinary contributions. We all wish you the joy and relaxation that you so richly deserve in your retirement. And I also have a gift card for Stephanie from Greg Stetson, State Farm Agent.
As much as I could have, this is hard.
You can take a picture again.
Look at it.
This might change your mind, really.
All right, we are moving to to our public comments. Okay, first person listed is Reginald D. Harris.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
First, I want to thank Madam Chair and board members for allowing me the opportunity to speak today. I would like to address the incident that occurred at Southwest High School football game on Friday, September the 12th, 2025. That evening, the safety and the students, staff, and families were severely compromised. I know this firsthand because I received a phone call from my daughter crying, frightened, and unsure of what was happening. As I rushed from Wilson on Highway 264, her older sister fortunately arrived before I did. When I spoke to my daughter afterwards, she shared concerning details, including an unattended gate and a hill where people entered without oversight. As a parent, this immediately made me to question how security was planned and how the safety measures were enforced at such a major rivalry game or any game. Adding to my concern, I did not receive any communication from the school or district leaders that night or even the next day. The first outreach came on Sunday, September the 14th, 2025, from the principal, who explained that counselors would be available, and from what my daughter told me, brought students in and apologized to them. Why were parents and community not addressed, given that this was a community event? That leads me to 6 questions I believe district leaders must answer. 1, why did parents have to wait until Sunday, September the 14th, 2025, for a phone call with no direct outreach the night or the day after? Number 2, why apologize only to students and not to the community and parents? 3, why were only 9 deputies assigned to a rivalry game with over 400 tickets sold before kickoff? Were deputies assigned to actively monitor the parking lot and surrounding areas? Number 5, how are students who should not be admitted to games screened and prevented from entering? And number 6, most importantly, how will Edgecombe County Schools ensure the students, staff, and families are safe at further athletic events? As a parent, I'm asking for answers for a stronger, clearer plan to protect our children and the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Marcia Williams is next.
And Caleb.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Vice
Good
Chair,
evening.
Board, and Superintendent. My name is Marcia Moy Williams, and I currently serve as the President for Edgecombe County Association of Educators. I'm here tonight to speak to you, not just on behalf of the organization, but on behalf of more than 500 dedicated educator supporter staff and school employees across Edgecombe County who have chosen to come together for one reason. They want a voice. Last year, we started in August with 130 members. By May, we had grown to over 500 members. That kind of growth doesn't happen by accident. It's clear signs that employees across our schools are hungry to be heard. They want to be involved in the decisions that affect the students that they serve every day. And that's where the meet and confer comes in. Meet and confer is not about confrontation. It's about collaboration. It's a structured way for educators and school staff to regularly engage with district leadership on the issues that matter. Students' learning conditions, employee working conditions, and the policies that connect them. We all want the same thing: successful students, safe and thriving schools, as the parent stated. and districts where educators want to stay and they want to grow. But without a system in place for consistent, respectful dialogue, we risk making decisions in silos. The educators of Edgecombe County are not asking for power. They're asking for a partnership. We believe a meet and confer policy would strengthen trust between staff and leadership, improve morale and retention, and ultimately lead to better outcomes for our students. Caleb, it's okay. Our students benefit most when the adults in their schools feel seen, heard, valued. Let's create a process together that honors this truth. Thank you for your time tonight, and we hope that the board will agree to meet with us so that we can further discuss and build a stronger, more collaborative Edgecombe County Schools. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to say? You gotta love me.
We heard it. Okay, next person, Stacy Smith Pittman.
The clap at the end just sealed it. There you go.
Good evening, esteemed ECPS board members, Superintendent Bryan. My name is Stacy Smith Pittman. I am a proud 5th grade science teacher at Stocks Elementary and a proud member of NCAE. I am here to urge you to pass Meet and Confer. My concern is limited autonomy. It is easier to address the needs of individual students when the professional is trusted to make decisions and select resources to address individual student needs. We need Meet and Confer so that we can have more voice in district decisions. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next speaker, Brianna Baker.
Good evening, board. Good evening, board chair, vice chair, members of the board, Superintendent Ryan. It's me, Brianna Storm Baker. I recently joined the Edgecombe United Redistricting Working Group, and I will be speaking on behalf of them tonight in support of a proposal to pilot a community advisory committee for this school year 2025-2026. The reason we want to do this, we want to capitalize on community engagement and the momentum that we experienced during the redistricting process to support ECPS educators and students. And we wanted to recommend that Superintendent Bryan, members of the board, to approve this 5th advisory committee in addition to the policy recommendations that's already under consideration from the ECPS Policy Committee. And the 5th committee would be called the ECPS Community Advisory Committee to support community, parent, and youth engagement. We believe that active community engagement will enhance parent, family, and community engagement with the schools. And this committee would be one way to seize such a momentum. And this committee, the Community Advisory Committee, would address the following. One, it would include Edgecombe community residents actively involved and connected to community and civic organizations, business networks, and faith-based organizations who can enhance community, parent, and youth engagement. It would, the Community Advisory Committee members, they can be recommended to the superintendent for appointment from each school and from each board member from their new districts, and the superintendent should also have several at-large appointments as well. There should also be some mechanism for community residents and organizations and the other advisory groups to recommend community advisory members for consideration as well. And the community advisory members should become proficient at 1, the school governance process, 2, the written and unwritten rules about how to get things done at ECPS for students, parents, faculty, staff, and community, like who to contact for what issues, the budget and budget process, and school accountability and performance data and improvement goals. And what's most important, what the community residents can do to make ECPS, everybody within, successful. And we'll surely have more input as you formally adopt this idea and more details are needed. I myself would like to be a part of this committee as a candidate. So thank you for your time and consideration.
All right, thank you. Next person, Mr. James Wren.
Good evening, board members. Glad to be here. My name is James Wren, 704 NC 97 East and Leggett, with the Community Common Alliance, Edgecombe United, and also the U150. First, I want to say thank you for coming out to our event on September 3rd at Thorns Chapel to celebrate the movement for MAP-C and the education discussion we had in that setting. Very great turnout. Over 100 people came, and thank you all for coming. Thank you. It is very important. I'm standing here today to say, number one, in support of NCAE at Meet and Confer policy requests. I ask you to meet with them and come to that conclusion. But also ask you to support the Community Advisory Committee that you just heard about a minute ago. And I also want to, beyond that, again ask, like I did last month, the public and the community, parents, teachers need a transparent discussion of the future North Edgecombe project, because we need to know what's going on with that. And I want you to address that. Beyond that, on behalf of the Phoenix Historical Society, I want to announce that on November the 8th at 11 o'clock at the Carmen Auditorium, we'll be having a program entitled The Patillo Legacy in North Carolina, dealing with 4 generations of Walter Patillos. And since we have a Patillo school here, people who graduates or ever attended Patillo are very interested in that program. We have a speaker, Dr. Omar Ali from UNC Greensboro, who will be speaking on the subject of the 4 generations of Walter Patillo, including the 2 that served as principal of the school here in Tarboro. That's November the 8th at 11 a.m. at Carmen Auditorium. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That ends our public comment. Okay. We're on item 5. We have a very, very long open session minutes. Does anyone have any corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, I need to hear a motion for approval of our open session minutes for September 8th, 2025.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve our September 2025 regular business board meeting open session minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we will approve our open session minutes September 8th, 2025. Any other discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. The motion carries. Thank you very kindly. We are moving to items for information. Dr. Bryant, 6.1.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Congratulations to the 2025 ECPS Principal of the Year, Mr. Billy Strother, who's at South Edgecombe Middle School. Mr. Strother received a big surprise last week when the announcement was made at the start of a school pep rally at South Edgecombe Middle School. His leadership, dedication, and commitment to excellence continue to make a lasting impact on the South Edgecombe Middle School community and across Edgecombe County Public Schools. So congratulations to Billy, and he will represent ECPS very well. Also, an announcement about Community Access Lab open houses. The ECPS Family Resource Center will host open houses in November to introduce families to our new Community Access Labs. These labs provide access technology, assistance with student information systems, and tools to support employment readiness, including resume building and online applications. Open houses will be held on Tuesday, November 4 at the ECPS Family Resource Center in Tarboro, and Tuesday, November 18 at the ECPS Teacher Resource Center in Rocky Mount. Both sessions will take place between 10 and 11:30 a.m. and 6 and 7:30 p.m. Families will have the opportunity during those meetings to meet ECPS staff, explore available technology, and learn how these labs help them stay connected and supported. Also, I'd like to announce a financial aid night in Spanish in partnership with Casa Azul de Wilson. Edgecombe Early College High School is hosting financial aid night entirely in Spanish on Tuesday, October 28th at 6 p.m. This event will begin with a presentation and then move into breakout sessions to help students and families complete their residency determination, create federal student aid accounts, and complete FAFSA. They have resources and space available to help 35 families across the district. The goal is to remove language and trust barriers and financial aid to open doors for more of our students to go to college. This is also on our informational item agenda, but our Community Health and Wellness Fair update. The Community Health and Wellness Fair is scheduled for Saturday, November 8th from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the RCF Center, located at 600 Davis Drive in Tarboro. The event sponsored by Edgecombe County Public Schools in partnership with St. Stephen MBC will offer a range of free screenings information, including blood pressure and diabetes checks, information on substance abuse prevention, fire and gun safety education, guidance on nutrition, health and eating and exercise, community resource tables, and food trucks. For additional details, please see Shrika King at 252-326-2393. And finally, the ECPS Elementary Basketball League is in its organizational stage right now. And Basketball League is being launched for students in grades 3 through 5. Registration is now open with a deadline November 14. To be eligible, students must maintain good behavior, satisfactory grades, and a good attendance record. Practice for the league is scheduled to begin in December of 2025, with games taking place on Saturdays from February 21st, 2026 to March 28th, 2026. Spots are limited, so please make sure that you register. And just to let everybody know, our advisory groups are in full swing. We've just got 3 or 4 left before we are finished with our first round. And feedback and input's been great. And Madam Chair, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any comments in reference to our updates?
Question, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Dr. Bryan, the Community Access Lab open house, will we ever do something like that in Spanish also?
It's a great idea. The college night that we're talking about in Spanish has been in the making, I think, for a while, and it'd be great to expand it.
Any others? Thank you for the report. Our next item for information comes from maintenance updates from Mr. Perkins.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Sir.
Board Chair, Vice Chair, Board Members, Superintendent Dr. Bryan, I'll be giving a few maintenance updates. Okay. Floor members. I got you. Thank you so much. This is the Teacher Resource Center. We've got a new AC unit there. This is Carver water line. And this is the same repair. You see on the left, the pipe is really rusty. We're gonna have to address it. We put the silver clamp on the first time, and the second time you see the blue clamp. And this is Daniel down there. We're trying to get it fixed, but we're gonna have to address this. The pipes are very, very old.
Replacing the whole pipe is the goal.
Yes, yes, ma'am. This is Carver floor. It came up and had to take it out, part of it. And this is what it looks like now. This is Southwest concession stand water meter. On the left is the old one, the right is the brand new one. And this is another water heater that we have replaced at Southwest. This is Parker Cafeteria. It needs painting bad, as you can see. And this is what it looks like now. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Sharika King?
Madam Chair, I think I've already provided that report tonight. Community health and wellness, but it never hurts to mention it again. And Ms. King offered for me to go ahead and take care of that.
Okay.
Would you like to add anything to our discussion?
No, I think you covered everything. I just would like everyone to come out on the day you're able to send your friends, send your coworkers, tell everybody to just come out and take advantage of this good opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It really is a great community opportunity, and we have lots of people take advantage of it.
That's his flyer, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So tell your friends.
Okay, we're moving to 6.4, our comprehensive plan submission by Ms. Pierce.
So as Ms. Pierce makes her way up to the mic, as you know, the state has designated low performing schools based on the formula for 80% proficiency, 20% growth. And as I've noted publicly several times since our last meeting, with 12 of our schools fall in that category. All of our schools have to do school improvement plans, and these are required in sort of a different way in reference to being approved by the board, and then are set on a 30-day timeline. Once presented to the board, then approved again at the next board meeting. Also will be placed on the website for public viewing and also for public input on that. And we will make sure everybody shares ideas on what we're working on. As we've said so many times before, school improvement plans are living, breathing documents, and they are always in flux. Even what's been presented to you tonight, which will be on our website tomorrow, is something that changes periodically and as we see fit. And we try to pursue a process that is continuous improvement and dedicated to get following the research and getting input and feedback from all of our stakeholders. Ms. Pierce?
So thank you, Dr. Brown, for setting that up. Like Dr. Brown said, he shared the information about the plan. In Edgecombe County Public Schools, 100% of our schools use what we call the NC STAR platform, which is actually a requirement by the state for schools with certain designations. So instead of separating in different platforms, 100% of our schools use that platform. Though that platform is accessible by anyone, there is a guest login that's available at every school's website, so anyone in the public can view those plans as well as can view any school improvement meeting minutes as well. It's available in that platform. What we provided for you tonight is specifically the comprehensive plans for the school year. Instead of having multiple plans, our comprehensive plans includes their plans for exiting low-performing school status. It also includes their plans if they're a Title I school and how they're going to utilize Title I funds for school improvement efforts, as well as if they have the federal designation of TSI or CSI. So we use that one plan to cover all of the designations and programs. So we have printed tonight for you the copy of each school's goals, as well as their focused in what we call indicators for the school year. They're also going to be publicly posted on the website tomorrow in PDF format for public view. Schools during this time period, the feedback time period will be through October 30th. We'll have a link so that the public views can give feedback by school as well if they like, and it will also be shared with school staff for them to give feedback. And then between November 1st and November 3rd, school improvement teams will be able to make any adjustments based on feedback, and then we will print the final plans to submit for you for the board meeting in November, where you will approve the final plan that will be submitted to the state for review. And the low-performing school plans will actually go to the state school board as part of the state policy for approval. We're happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions on the document that's included in our packet?
Yeah. This isn't about the document, but is there a narrative that goes along with this that explains, I mean, I know in this it says low performing schools are met or not met, to explain to the public why you can still be low performing. I mean, we've discussed it,
Right.
but for people in the community, when they see it, I think it's often difficult to understand how they can meet expected growth and still be low performing. Is there a section that explains how all that fits together for the public?
We could definitely, and that's a great recommendation. Matt has our webpage that will be posted with everything for view. We can add a section to that that kind of puts out like you're considered low performing by the state if X, Y, Z. We can definitely add that to the website, so when the public goes to that website, they can see why specific designations are there.
I mean, I just think it's important, you know, when we give the public information, to give them information that people understand. It's,
right.
I mean, I remember when I was a parent before I was on the board, and you know, they talked about stanines and percentiles, but no one ever explained what all that meant. And you bring the parents in our mind, we're thinking, well, we've done a great job. We've shared information with people, but if we don't give them information in a way people can understand it, we've really not done our job.
Agreed. And you know, I gave a public presentation a couple weeks ago. I talked about the number of low-performing schools, but then on the other side of that, we talked about 14 of 18 schools met or exceeded growth. And the graduation rate increasing in the last couple of years by nearly 5%. So it really does, it's two portraits depending on how you find it. And I think your suggestion about doing that is important to be part of the process.
And there's also a letter that the state provides us, the template that we actually send home by schools. They'll be going home this week to parents, and it explains it. But it's a lot of information. It explains what a low-performing school is and how a school is designated low-performing. But again, it's full one-page letter with a lot of technical information in it to read through. So we'll definitely kind of break it up on the website. And then we'll follow up. CSI and TSI federal designation is about 3 pages in the accountability book for the state about how a school enters and can potentially exit. But we could look at how we can create something that's more public-friendly facing about how we receive those designations as well. That's a great
I think our goal is the same. We want people to understand. We don't want to just give them information. We want them to be able to understand it, and so they can even question it.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
In conjunction with that, could the board have a work session where we see the disaggregation of the data so we know where we are, how we're getting there, which subgroups need some work, and what we're doing to do that? It doesn't come all in a package. We need to break it down because everybody's not doing poorly.
Right.
But we need to see that so that we can see where we are, how we're going to move, where we're going to move. We don't need to wait till May. We need to do that now so that we can see where we are, which subgroups need some help, and what we're doing to help those subgroups to get where they are. Because we know that all the groups have to pull together.
Sorry, Reverend Perry, I was, Mr. Hall and I already talked about doing some of that and getting everybody together.
All right.
And also in that same lane, Reverend Privet, the state actually, in terms of CSI and ATSI designation, we'll talk more about this. This was what we call a redesignation year. It's every 3 years. That was in the packet. Last week at the federal program state meeting that I was in, that division within federal programs actually just released the new approach to how they're handling that at the state, and it's changing significantly. And so we have it is now as a district plan and not individual school plans. And so we talked about that today, and we're working on now, because it's really new, we just got the information Thursday about what their expectations are. So we'll be processing and creating a team that actually has a district full. I mean, we've always supported the schools, but now it's a full district approach and a district plan to exiting those statuses, and we'll make sure we share those updates and that information with you as well.
Thank you very much. But this needs to happen yesterday.
Yes.
So we expect to get to work on that real fast. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
7.1, policy comments. Ms. Kent.
I'm going to turn that over to Dr. Bryan. We did meet, I will say we did meet and kind of went over 2 different kind of groups of policies, some with major changes, some with minor changes. And I will let Dr. Bryan explain those.
Madam Chair, what you have, thank you, Ms. Kent, what you have in front of you are some first reading for policy changes, and then some updates with minor changes recommended for approval. Of course, the ones with more substantial changes, this first reading, they'll come back for the second reading at the next board meeting, and also the ones for minor changes we're approving now. I believe I'm saying that right.
Actually, Dr. Brown, I looked at it. Under your policy, if it's revisions to an existing policy, you all don't have to go through first and second reading. It's just new policy. So you all could go, but you all have the ability tonight to just approve these since they're existing policies that are just being changed.
Thank you for the clarification.
Let me ask the question, did the board, while reading through the policy, see any that they would like to question or work on before we vote on them and put them into our policy? Well, they are our policies, but have them so we can use them at this point, since nothing's new. So we could just have one vote for both groups then, correct?
I think the way they're structured, the first one are more substantive changes, and the second are just sort of clerical minor changes, like to reference a statute. All of these were through the board's work with the School Boards Association, so updates to law, a lot of it's cross-references. These are pretty standard changes. So I would recommend 2 different votes, the one that are the substantive changes and the second vote for the minor
That's a specific question on policy 3620.
We have a lot of highlighted area there that we'll have to delete certain parts of it, but this is not a new policy. 3620. It's a lot. And then I see this removing the brackets, it's true, but.
So that section is about homeschool students and their ability to participate in athletics. So the district just needs to delete the text that doesn't apply to the option that's selected. And I believe the committee discussed option 2.
So we can take care of that.
I had the great opportunity to read every single policy that's presented. And we are talking about 181 pages of policies. And I actually see it in 2 sections as being discussed. And I believe I did not have to change anything. I have a red mark on a single page. And I read all of them. Every single one. As a matter of fact, I was telling that to an employee, and the employee said 2 times. I said, that's right. I read my book twice before I come to the meeting. Now, I'm thinking that we could make a simple motion to approve 7.1 and 7. And the second motion is to approve 7.12.
Is everyone ready for a vote?
Yes, I want to check with everyone, all the board members. Are we ready?
Do that again, Madam Chair. Say that again.
Yes. The first 7.1 is the first section of policy. And when you turn to the section that says 7.12, that's a separate set.
A lot of changes.
Yes, very minor changes in that. And when I read it, I didn't have any changes on it. And that's what I'm asking. Did any board member in reading these policies find anything that you questioned? And if you did not find anything you questioned, it's time to take a vote.
I had some, I didn't have any questions, but 3620, as Lily was talking about, I have some
concern
about the options to that.
Okay.
Are we to choose an option?
That's correct.
One option.
That's correct.
And one option is to chuck it.
That's correct.
One option is to
The policy committee, and I'm sorry that wasn't clear, the policy committee recommends option 2.
Okay, well, we need to talk about that and the whole
Let's do it. Let's do it.
That
All right.
we need to talk about that. Option 2, let me find it. Before we get this, I may have something else.
Could I make a suggestion on that?
Yes, sir.
Since there's going to be discussion and to make sure the board is fully up to date on that policy, I would suggest maybe pulling that policy and including the specific policy.
All right.
Good idea, sir. Good.
That's listed in 7.12, right? 7.1.
So the motion could approve the listed policies in 7.1.1 with the exception of 3620.
Yes.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve all the policies in 7.1.1 with the exception of policy 3620 as presented.
I second.
Has been moved and second that we will approve all policies in 7.1 except 3620 for approval. Any other discussion?
And do we need to mention, I just thought about this, Madam Chair, that 3620 would be for further discussion, not that we didn't approve it, that we just were pulling it out for further discussion. That we won't think we just didn't approve it.
Yeah.
I'd like to add that to the motion, please. That was an afterthought.
Add it. Or restate your motion.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve all of the policies in section 7.1.1 with the exception of 3620, which we will table until the board has an opportunity to study it a little more, the full board.
You second? Okay. It has been moved and properly seconded that we will approve all policies in 7.1 except 3620. We will table until the full board has an opportunity to discuss. Any other discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Opposed, the same sign. Motion carried. Okay, thank you very much. Let's move to 7.12, that set of policies.
Before we move into 7.1.2, does anyone have any item in particular that they're uncomfortable with or want to discuss?
I didn't want it. Not a change.
Did y'all see anything?
I did not just, I don't see any reading. Lot of changes.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve all the policies in section 7.1.2 as presented.
Second.
Has been moved and properly seconded that we will approve all policies listed under 7.1.2 section as presented. Any other discussion on the motion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. The motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Consent items next. Right.
Madam Chair, what you have in front of your field trips, extensive list, and also fundraisers. 8.1A and 8.2A.
I did not have any on those two items.
Dr. Brian, we have not received any pullback on any holding on to any. I remember once we had to hold some trips and stuff. We haven't received any holding of funds for these kinds of things that we have done.
But I think what's happening with these field trips that I've looked at, I think that the school that's doing the trip, I think they are using their funds that's designated for the trip. Now, I have not seen any of the fundraisers that talks about planning a trip. The fundraisers are things that they are selling to try to help the students or the school in general. Did anybody see anything different from that?
I didn't. I was just wondering, if sometimes you receive a mandate to hold on to the whole stuff.
Yes. Should we move? We need a motion. We have one motion for 8.1A. They're all consent items. 8.2A, they're all consent items.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve the consent items as presented.
Second.
Has been moved and properly seconded that we will approve the consent items as presented. Any other discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the very same sign. The motion carries. Thank you.
Southwest is well represented in parades and stuff. Yeah, good cheer.
Okay, we're moving. Items for action.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Board Member, Superintendent Dr. Bryan. Tonight I have two items for action before you, and I will start out with 8.1B. The Technology Department requests board approval to purchase GoGuardian as a sole source for North Carolina Department of Instruction for the fiscal year 25-26 in the amount of $44,800. Using PRC 015 state technology funds. I provided you a chart as a breakdown of what DPI will cover and what ECPS will cover in that cost. So on that chart, you will see that the total was $44,800. DPI is going to cover $24,807.97, leaving the remaining $19,992.03 for ECPS to cover. The purpose of this purchase is to help schools and educators create a safe, focused, and productive digital learning environment by providing tools for classroom management, content filtering, and student engagement.
Is this pretty popular?
Yes, sir. We use this as, we have two filters we actually run, one on top of the other. So NC provides our main filtering through the district, and then GoGuardian is run on top of that. And this is for district and classroom teacher filtering. So every classroom teacher can filter their own content, digital content in their classroom, and can manage what students are doing at any given time in their classroom. And then the district on top of that will filter things like YouTube, for example, where only educational videos are allowed in the district versus having an open YouTube channel. Things like that we do to make sure students are on task.
I've caught up with you.
Okay.
Thank you. Other than Raymond's question, does anybody else have a question for Ms. Hayes? If not, I need to hear a motion for approval.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve the purchase Go Guardian as a sole source for fiscal year 2025-26 in the amount of $44,800 using PRC 015 State Technology Fund.
Second. Has been moved and properly second that we will approve to purchase Go Guardian as a sole source for FY 25-26 in the amount of $44,800 using PRC 015 State Technology Funds. Any other discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same sign. The motion carries. Thank you. 8.2.
So for 8.2B, requesting board approval to purchase equipment and services from USAC Category 2 E-rate program from Applied Network Consulting, ANC, in the amount of $322,414.36. This includes switches and accessories, and the schools that it includes these switches and accessories for are Tarboro High School, Stocks, South Middle, and Principal. Funds were awarded through the Universal Service Administration Company, USAC, for equipment and services for Category 2 E-rate program. 85% of the cost would be covered by the E-rate program in the amount of $274,052.20, and the remaining 15% of the cost will be paid from State Technology Fund 015 in the amount of $48,362.15. This was formally bid and rubric was used to award, and I put down the bids received, vendors, and bids there for you to look over and compare. And so we are requesting approval to make this purchase.
Any questions? I'm not trying to make it hard for you. Anybody have any questions? For Ms. Hayes, I need to hear a motion.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve the purchase of equipment and services available for the USAC Category 2 E-rate program from Applied Network Consulting in the amount of $322,414.36. 85% of the cost covered by E-rate program in the amount of $274,052.20, and the remaining 15% of the cost will be paid from state technology funds in the amount of $48,362.15.
Has been moved and properly second that we recommend the purchase of equipment and services eligible for the USAC Category 2 E-rate program for Applied Network Consulting in the total amount of $322,414.36. Any other discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same sign. The motion carries. Thank you. We're at 8.3.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Board of the Superintendent. I'm back again. This time I'm here for two. The first one, 8.3, is for the approval for the district to submit our 25-26 Every Student Succeeds Act consolidated application to the Department of Public Instruction. Our consolidated application actually includes the application of multiple titled programs that are listed in the item for information for you. Those include our Title I Part A and Title I Part C, Title II, Title III, and Title IV programming as part of that application. Within your item for information packet, we share with you information for Title I, how we identified schools this year, which schools were identified, the different set-asides for those programs, as well as our carryover and our request for fund use. So I'm open to any questions you may have.
Board member? Just hope we get them.
They are actually guaranteed funds as long as we submit an approved plan before the due date, and our due date is October 31st. So our plan will be submitted.
Could we have a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion for the approval of submitting the 2025-26 Every Student Succeed Act consolidated application to the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction.
It's been moved and properly second that we will approve the submitting of the 25-26 Every Student Succeeds Act, in parentheses, ESSA, consolidated application to the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction. Any other discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same sign.
And one thing I did forget to share with you, with the federal government shutdown right now, the school funds are not affected because they were actually allocated in fiscal year 25 funds. So this year's funds we should receive. We don't have to worry about it. Years prior or after this year. So I started thinking when you said that, would we actually receive it? Those funds have been allocated. School funds are actually done from the federal fund in 25 for this year. So we are good. Unless something majorly changes and they come back and amend some of those federal laws. So the second
may continue.
Yep, the
8.4B.
Sorry, we didn't catch who seconded the motion.
Ms. Worsley. Ms. Worsley.
Thank you.
Our second item for action, I come to you for West Edgecombe Middle School, who is requesting the board to approve the sole source use of funds to provide math, professional development, and coaching. That contracted service will include 5 days of intensive on-site professional development and then virtual professional development the following 6 months, working with the math department and instructional leaders at the school to improve math instruction and instructional practices at the school. We're coming for the approval per guidance on the use of funds. If a cost exceeds $10,000 or required for competitive bidding or the sole source approval. And the request for this is for two purposes. They've used this approach to math instruction for various years so that they can continue continuity of services in their approach, as well as it is a very specialized approach to instruction that is only now provided by 2 vendors, and one of the vendors you saw in the packet said that they were not able to provide those services this year. Their caseload is full, and so we switched to the other vendor instead.
So that's only at West Edgecombe?
Yes, ma'am. Part of West Edgecombe's plan and their school improvement plan, they do have a goal and strategy use for focusing on math instruction and this approach, so they decided to use their title funds to support that.
So I'll be able to find that in their
Yes, it should be documented in their plan as an action step that they are doing to address student improvement. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody else have? If not, we need to move. I need a motion.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the services provided by Radix and Reason Math Learning LLC as a sole source to provide professional development for mathematics and core instructional services for West Edgecombe Middle School, using funds provided by PRC of 50 Title I Part A in the amount of $12,900.
Second.
Has been moved and properly second that we will approve for the board to provide the Rex and Reason Math Learning LLC as a sole source to provide professional development for mathematics and core instruction services for West Edgecombe Middle School using funds provided by PRC 050 Title I Part A in the amount of $12,900. Any other discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion?
It's correct here.
It's
They're two different amounts here. The amount, is the amount the 12,000 or the 9,000?
It's the 12,000.
$12,900.
There's actually two agreements. One was for the intensive and the other was for the coaching. It was originally submitted, but because it's one vendor for the same service, we made them put it in one contract. It requires approval.
So will that be corrected in the contract?
Is it not in the contract that way?
It says 9,300.
That will need to be correct. I'll go back and look at that contract. It should say, it should have the two services listed, the one for 9,000 and then the one for 3,000. For a total, no, it should be one contract. Is it showing?
It should be, in the recommendation, it's $12,900.
But we want to make sure the contract's correct too. So I will go back and review the contract and make sure. I know there was an original contract submitted and then we revised it. It was two separate services, but we said this is actually one service that needs to be combined in one. So I'll double check and ensure that the contract we have on file with the purchase order request is the correct one. I'll follow up on that tomorrow morning. Thank y'all for that, Kat. We want to make sure.
Should our motion say that or just?
I think
or is you okay with it?
His motion was for $12,900.
Okay, right.
So I think the note that you all are authorizing $12,900.
For the sole source. But I'll double check the contract on our end and that purchase
Here it says
order.
9,300.
Okay, I'll double check. I could have printed the wrong one when I made the board book.
She's going to say contract. Oh. Okay. Do we have that clear? Or is it still muddy?
We've got the motion for the $12,900.
Yes.
And the note in the minutes that the contract will be corrected.
Yes. All right. Brian, your time, 8:5. Yeah. Oh,
I don't think there's been a vote on the motion.
y'all were talking so much. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same sign. Motion's carried. Everybody talk. Dr. Brian.
This is agenda item, approval of payment for invoices in the amount of $217,000 fine arts, architecture for continued design in North Edgecombe School Division. And we will, as always, seek reimbursement from the grant for that. But for a timely manner, we might take that out of capital funds and then reimburse through the grant. We've done that previously.
Okay.
with you all's approval, we did that previously.
If y'all get a chance to read that thoroughly and ready to approve it. Okay. We need to hear a motion.
Go ahead.
Madam Chair, I'm recommending approval for payment of invoices in the amount of $217,000 to Vines Architect for design of North Edgecombe School renovation. Payment can be made from capital funds until a reimbursement can be provided from the need-based grant by the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction.
Second.
Has been moved and properly seconded that we will approve the payments for the invoices in the amount of $217,000 to Vines Architect for the design of North Edgecombe High School innovations. Payment can be made from capital funds until reimbursement can be provided from the needs-based grant of the North Carolina Public Schools of Instruction. Any other discussion on that motion?
Madam Chair, no problem with anything, but there's a,
We need to add a $500.
we need to add $500 to that amount because one invoice is 105 and the other one's 112, 500.
You are correct. We can amend the
Motion to add 500.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. Ms. Lily, you need to take
Carry it.
closed session.
Did she need to go back and do that, or we just need to carry it as it is?
I think we need to do it correct.
Yes.
Probably go back and add $500
$217,000.
All right, recommend approval of the payment for the invoices in the amount of $217,500 to Vines Architect for the design of North Edgecombe High School of Innovation. Payment can be made from capital funds and the reimbursement can be provided from the needs-based grant by the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction.
has been moved and properly seconded that we will pay the invoices in the amount of $217,500 to the Vines Architect. Designed for the North Edgecombe High School innovation. Payments can be made from capital funds until reimbursement can be provided from the needs-based grant from the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction. Any other discussion on that motion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same sign. The motion carries. Thank you. All right, moving. We're at page 6.
I make a motion under the North Carolina Open Meeting Law Section 143-318.11A, 1, A3, and A6 to go into closed session to personnel matters, to consult with the attorney to preserve attorney-client privilege information, and to prevent the disclosure of student records rendered confidential under the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act 20 U.S.C. 1232G and the disclosure of personnel records rendered confidential under GS 115C-319 through 321.
Has been moved and properly second that we would go into closed session. Any other discussion on that motion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. The motion carries. We'll take a 10-minute break. Has been moved and properly seconded that we will approve our personnel management 10.1.1 listed personnel. Any other discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same sign. The motion is carried. 10.12, extracurricular fall sports.
Madam Chair, make a motion that we approve the extracurricular activities fall sports.
Second.
Has been moved and properly seconded that we will approve 10.12, the extracurricular activities, our fall sports. Any other discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 10.2, closed session minutes.
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of closed session minutes.
Second.
Have been moved and properly seconded that we will approve our closed session minutes for September 8th. Any other discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The motion carries. Board correspondence. Item number 12, item brought by board members or the superintendent for consideration.
I know Raymond raised a question about policy 3620 about the extracurricular.
Yes.
That's cool. I was just wondering, do you want to discuss that now?
No, I thought we were gonna.
I mean, we tabled it. I didn't know you just
I
wanted.
think we want to refer it back to committee.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Well, there were three options, and until we get some feedback from the board, I don't think.
Okay, what was number 2? You said that
The
you
two
all.
is they have to be in dual enrollment with the system to be able to play a sport.
Okay,
One is
okay.
they couldn't play a sport
Yeah,
at all.
right.
One is they had to be a dual enrollment.
The third was, we just had them play. They can just play.
They can just play.
Yeah.
I agree with the dual enrollment.
Okay, well, that's what we had picked.
That's what we had talked about when we first came about this during the COVID. and
We
stuff.
just wanted to make sure that they had a foot in the door.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not fair to the
Dual
community.
enrollment. I don't want them to just play.
None of us did.
Okay.
None of us did.
That was
So
my
we could just
concern.
bring that back
I'm
in
good.
next month and vote on it then. Y'all comfortable with that?
Yeah.
I just wanted to know where we stood before we went on. Okay.
But maybe we'll make it more clear and just kind of include the option 2 language so that it's.
Sure.
And we can read it out. I mean, I'm okay reading it out so everybody hears it. I just,
I'm on the page.
okay. Well, I just want to make sure everybody was happy before we brought it back
I
up.
didn't know what to want. I didn't know what it was.
Okay.
I'm on that page.
Well, you know we're not going to let just anybody come play and take our students' places.
But we gotta be sure.
We're not going to have mama upset with us.
Okay. I need to hear a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
It has been moved